So members of the Fourth Estate, welcome to this press statement. We are here as the Mulembe Youth Movement together with the daughters of Raila Odinga. And this is in conjunction with the meeting in Kakamega, the Bukhungu 2 declaration that is supposed to set the pace for the way forward of the region. Because as a people we must get inclined and we must get aligned to one specific direction. We are here to do that, just to guide our young people, to ensure that all of us are there in good numbers so that we are able to be part and parcel of the history making of this country. So that's why we are here as a Mulembe Youth Movement together with the top secretariat of daughters of Raila Odinga. Our key message is that leaders must not contradict each other and want leaders not to oppose others from coming into the Western region, because this region is part and parcel of this country. And if we must be part and parcel of the governance of this country, then we must allow every person to access this region. We are not going to issue threats to other leaders. We are going to be harmonious, to accept that everyone can be able to access our land and we can be able to chart the way forward as Mulembe people, so that when the next government is being formed, we as the Mulembe people, especially the young people, will be at the center stage of that government. So we are here and we are going to read that statement, and my colleague Steve Biko from Webuye West, who is also the incoming Member of Parliament for Webuye West, will be leading us in that statement together with the rest of my colleagues. Steve, you can go ahead.
My name is Steve Biko Afula, lawyer, entrepreneur, industrialist from Webuye West. And to just echo the statements of the chairman, the issue is Western Kenya is ready for business. The economy of Western Kenya is a function of politics, and we believe that we are the only region that can be able to take this country forward. I will read our statement, then I will give opportunity to Faith, who's vying for Senator Nairobi, and our convener, Honorable Matere, who is vying for Senator Trans Nzoia, to conclude. As the leaders of the youth from the entire region of Western Kenya, we believe we hold the aspirations, dreams, and reality of our brothers and sisters. As a movement, it's been our goal to ensure that we champion the issues of our brothers and sisters from the region. Today we speak to the whole nation of Kenya, stating that we support the ideology of Azimio la Umoja because we must stand up for our beloved country. As the warriors of Mulembe Nation, we must decide to fight for a better Kenya under the leadership of the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga. We believe the youth of Western Kenya are with us, and we speak on their behalf when we say that we support Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga to be the 5th President of the Republic of Kenya. We request the Honorable Prime Minister to pick a Luhya to be his running mate. We would like to be guaranteed by the conveners and the stakeholders of the Azimio la Umoja that the following demands be met for us to support the Azimio la Umoja as youth, women, and people of the Mulembe Nation. That we are guaranteed that the Nairobi governorship be given to a Luhya candidate, same for the Nairobi senatorial position. We are guaranteed that 5 MP positions out of the 17 constituencies go to Luhya candidates. That we are guaranteed that 35 MCA positions in Nairobi out of the 85 wards go to Luhya candidates. That once His Excellency, the Prime Minister Raila Amolo Odinga, becomes president, he will consider the youth of Mulembe Nation and give them at least 7 cabinet positions. That will be guaranteed at least 15 ambassadorial positions in his government. Guaranteed at least 100 parastatal key appointments. That the people of Umoja focus and support and work with the youth from the Mulembe Nation. And I know this will raise the question of who are we to demand such. Many will ask, who are we to demand such? This is because we are the most populous community in the country. Majority of the lawyers in the country are lawyers. Majority of the teachers in the country are lawyers. Majority of the doctors and nurses in the country are lawyers. Majority of the chefs and cooks are lawyers. Majority of the drivers in the country are lawyers. Majority of the security personnel are lawyers. Majority of the domestic workers are lawyers. So in terms of population and numbers, we promise to deliver can be guaranteed. Many will say this, but many will say that we don't have the money. In this regard, numbers do not lie. And the truth of the matter is that of the 6 counties where the people of Mulembe reside, of the 6 counties where the people of Mulembe reside, there are top 15 in the counties that contribute to the great domestic product, starting with Bungoma, followed by Kakamega, followed by Trans Nzoia and Busia. The potential of the region cannot be understated. What we need is the right leadership to make us the Dubai of Kenya. And we believe under the ideology of Azimio la Umoja, we can achieve this under the leadership of the Right Honorable Prime Minister Raila Odinga. As the Mulembe Youth Movement, we undertake to marshal and deliver the votes in the 6 counties that will be needed to ensure that the Right Honorable Prime Minister Odinga wins the presidency of this country. We are a group that cannot be ignored. Finally, we show our deep appreciation for our elder statesman, Honorable Francis Atwoli, for taking the bold step to unite and lead the Mulembe nation in supporting the Azimio la Umoja agenda under the leadership of Raila Amolo Odinga. As Mulembe Youth Movement, we pledge and undertake to support this agenda to its positive conclusion. We urge all the youth of the Mulembe nation to turn up in great numbers for the Bukhungu second meeting to endorse the Azimio la Umoja agenda and stand shoulder to shoulder with Baba. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, members of the Fourth Estate, and all concerned members of Mulembe Nation. My name is Faith Nora Lukosi. I sit on the advisory board of Daughters of Raila, and I am a member of Mulembe Youth Movement and also aspiring senator for Nairobi County. Mulembe Youth Movement has for a long time pushed and voiced the interest of young people with the object of ensuring that young people are well represented and meaningfully involved in important decisions that affect their economic, social and political life. And today, as a Mulembe Youth Movement, we are making a bold decision to join the revolutionary Azimio la Umoja movement, where 95% of our leaders from the Mulembe community are headed. The Azimio train to State House captures the dreams and ambitions of delusioned young Kenyans who are yearning for change. Azimio promises to embolden social enterprise, create youth ventures at rural and urban levels, offer equal opportunities to all, and above all, seal corruption loopholes, which means as a nation and as the Mulembe community, we can have more money for development. We must resist the temptation of making a political miscalculation in 2022 because of anger, yet we understand that our journey to Canaan never materialized in 2022. It is important, in 2017, it is important that everyone that was part of this journey to understand the art and practice of patience. That is why, as Mulembe Youth Movement, we are calling on ANC Party Leader Honorable Musalia Mudavadi and Ford Kenya Party Leader Honorable Moses Wetangula to drop their anger, sober up, and join this historic mission that is undoubtedly going to bear fruits for the Mulembe community. There is no more time to waste on the fence. No room for political meandering and making of costly mistakes. This is the time for Azimio, and this is the way. Without unity, we are doomed to fail as Mulembe community. And we appreciate the efforts that Papa Francis Atwoli is making to steer the Mulembe community in the right direction towards the Azimio agenda. It is our hope that all our other leaders from Mulembe community are going to join hands with the Papa Francis Atwoli to ensure that we push this Azimio agenda to fruition. Thank you.
Off the cuff, to appreciate you for turning up and also to tender my unreserved apologies for having kept you waiting. And I'll go straight to my statement. My name is Alex Matere. I'm the convener of Mulembe Youth Movement and the national youth leader of Azimio la Umoja. I'd like to join my colleagues first to appreciate and recognize the efforts of EBS, CBS, Francis Atwoli, and his magnanimity in ensuring that he has steered the community of Mulembe Nation back to the national conversation of politics. If it wasn't for the sole effort of Papa Francis Atwoli, the Mulembe Nation at this moment wouldn't be an issue of discussion in as far as the national politics of this country is concerned. Secondly, I want to reaffirm and confirm that as Mulembe Youth Movement, we have deliberated and we have conclusively decided that we are going to participate fully in the Bukhungu 2 declaration, that we are going to mobilize our members across all the 6 counties. We have 1,000 people coming from Nairobi. We have 1,000 young people coming from Trans Nzoia, another 1,000 coming from this county of Bungoma, another 1,000 coming from Busia, another 1,000 coming from Vihiga. And in Kakamega alone, we might be having more than 5,000 young people who will be coming to join us in solidarity with the second declaration of Bukhungu. And this shows that the young people of Western Kenya are no longer on the menu. They have decided that they want to be on the table of decision making in as far as matters of this country are concerned. Thirdly, as a community and as young generation, we have actually learned from our elders. We have formidable champions among our members of our community. Some are still with us, others have already left. We have Masinde Muliro, who worked hand in hand with the late Jaramogi Oginga Odinga. We have Martin Shikuku, who worked also hand in hand with Jaramogi Oginga Odinga. We have the former Vice President, Wamalwa Kijana, who also worked hand in hand in Ford, Kenya with Jaramogi Oginga Odinga and Raila Odinga. We also have Mukisa Kitui, who also worked with other social democrats to bring the second liberation of this country. What I'm basically saying is that for a very long time, our community has invested strongly towards supporting social democracy in this particular country. And now, when it came to the 1997 elections, even though we had Wamalwa Kijana contesting, we also had members of our community actually backing Raila Amolo Odinga. In 2007, our community, almost to a man, 99% voted for Raila Amolo Odinga. In 2013, the same thing happened. In 2017, almost to a man voted for Raila Amolo Odinga. And now, when we are almost scoring the goal, we have some members of our community who have just decided to be frivolous and complacent. And this is the message that we are sending to them as young people from Magharibi, that it's high time that they rise up to the occasion, because the young people of this particular region will not allow, cannot allow, and shall not allow complacency to come and interfere with the deserved share of the Mulembe Nation in the government that is going to be structured in 2022 going forward. And we are reminding members of our community that if we have made serious and heavy investment in Raila Amolo Odinga for over 20 decades that he has been in politics, this time round he is almost getting the power that he has been seeking all this time. It is not time for us to be complacent. It is not time for us to be frivolous. It is not time for us to be undecisive. We have to ensure that as a community, to a man, that we back Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, so that as at the time he clinches the leadership of this country, he can also give us the fair share that we have been yearning for over 20 years that he has been in politics. Lastly, in as far as Bukhungu is concerned, as young people we have a stake, and we are going to ensure that we have mobilized to our numbers across all the 6 counties to ensure that we have a pronounced statement coming out of Bukhungu. And after that, we are going also to ensure that we have crisscrossed, we have traversed all the counties where our people are, to ensure that Raila Amolo Odinga not only increases in terms of popularity, but also has a stake in as far as the 2022 vote is concerned. What we are expecting is that Western Kenya will vote 99% to Raila Amolo Odinga. To our brothers, the Honorable Moses Masika Wetangula, to the Honorable Musalia Mudavadi, we are urging them that some of us were actually born when they were working with Raila Amolo Odinga. It is not us who took ourselves to Raila Amolo Odinga. It's them who took young people from our community to Raila Amolo Odinga. If they told us in 2013 that Raila Odinga is good, if they told us in 2017 that Raila Odinga is the best leader for this country, what has changed? And we are seeking and urging them, the way my colleague has said, that they need to put aside their personal and selfish interest, and for the first time, let them embrace what we call selflessness, let them embrace magnanimity, and ensure that the community for the first time benefits from government. We've been in position for a very long time and we have never benefited. Our farmers are complaining about sugar, we are complaining about poor roads, we are complaining about poor prices for our maize and other farm produce, we are complaining about lack of water, and we are complaining about so many other things. And all these problems can actually be solved if we have a stake in government. And lastly, my quote would be that as the Mulembe nation, we have suffered economic, political and social degradation. And the only way that this can be reversed is if and when one of our own, who is none other than Raila Amolo Odinga, the 13th grandchild of Nabongo Mumia, ascends to power. Thank you. Nitajibu yale ambayo nitaweza, alafu yingine nitaomba wenzangu wapate kujibu. First of all, you have talked about appointments in government and youth employment in government, and there's no better person to ensure that that is actually achieved if it is not Raila Amolo Odinga. And that is on the backdrop that Raila Amolo Odinga has been working with His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta. And the best person actually to even be able to explain that is myself. I'm a young person and I might be the youngest director in a state corporation, and I come from Western Kenya. If it were not for the handshake, if it were not for the selflessness and patriotism of Raila Amolo Odinga with his brother, His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta, probably the youth of this country, and especially from Western Province, would have been marginalized up to now. We have government projects that have been working. We have Kazi Mtaani that has been working. We have teachers who are being employed now and then. We have policemen. We have people from the military who are employing now and then. Those are actually young people who are joining these institutions. It is not supposed to mean that if you are looking at a teacher, or if you are looking at a military person, that is not a young person. That is a young person who is being employed. What we are saying is that as unemployment has been a serious issue that has continues to affect the economy of this country. And the only way is that we need to have someone who still shares the vision, who still shares the manifesto, and who still shares the perspective of the current President Uhuru Kenyatta to take this nation forward. He has already set up a foundation where he has given young people opportunities, he has given young people job opportunities, he has given them employment, and it's this foundation that we need His Excellency Raila Amolo Odinga to build up from it 2022 going forward, so that by the time probably we get to 2027, the issues of youth unemployment would have been sorted once and for all. Secondly, as I give my time also to Steve Biko, on the aspect of the representation of young people in Raila's government, you have heard us come out clearly and unequivocally so that we will be urging and seeking and requesting His Excellency Raila Amolo Odinga to appoint a running mate from Western Kenya. That is what we use as a leverage at the national platform. You need also to understand that the community and members of the community, especially the older ones, have failed to negotiate for anything. We just see them in political rallies and they haven't negotiated for anything. You hear Mount Kenya people are negotiating for these positions in cabinet. You hear people from Coast are negotiating for several parastatals. But when you come to Western, no one has actually come out clear to say that as a community, these are the positions that we are negotiating for. And to fill that void, that's why Mulembe Youth Movement has come out clearly to say that even ministries that are very critical to the living standards of the people of Western Kenya, for instance, the Ministry of Agriculture, cannot be trusted by anyone who is coming outside zones that actually farm and produce and bread baskets of this particular country. That's why we are urging even him, as he gets to government, that the Ministry of Agriculture should be left to a person who comes from Western Kenya. Ministry of Energy, Ministry of Youth, because when you look at the birth rates, I think Western Kenya and Mulembe Nation, to be specific, we are the ones who have the highest number of young people across this country. And therefore, it is only fair that the minister in charge of youth 2022 going forward must actually come from this region. If you talk about even the Ministry of Finance, we are the highest taxpayers because Mulembe Nation is the most traveled. If you go to Kirinyaga now, you will find a member of Mulembe government, Nation. If you go to Garissa, you most likely actually find someone from here. If you go even to Coast, you will find people from here. And therefore, we are saying that we need our fair share in terms of government representation, but that we are just using it as leverage. But within the perspective and the wisdom of Raila Amolo Odinga, if he sees his fit that Mulembe Nation has been supporting him, then we are saying that no other person but the governor of Kakamega, who has proven that devolution can work in Western Kenya, Mheshimiwa Wycliffe Ambesa Oparanya, should be fronted for the position of Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya 2022 going forward.
Kikuyu, wherever they push their agenda. So we are hoping that you'll actually push our agenda for us. Now, one, in terms of employment, it is not the function of any government to give young people jobs. But I believe of all the candidates we have vying for presidency in 2022, His Excellency Raila Amolo Odinga is the only person who is going to create the right environment for people like me to be able to create jobs for young people. We need the right business environment for job creators to be there. That's the only way young people are going to get jobs. And I want to tell this to young people. Kama mnataka kazi, kama mnataka mwishi vizuri, pigeni Raila kura. Kwa sababu that is the only way we are going to have many more businesses. We are going to have many more entrepreneurs creating. Because as a government, they can only take so much people in terms of creating jobs. Jobs come from the private sector, and the private sector depends on the function of politics to create the right environment for people to grow. In terms of whether Raila is a young person or not, and in terms of whether he will pick a deputy candidate or not, we believe we've shown by numbers that we are the majority in almost every aspect of our economy. We believe him picking a deputy candidate from the region is our bargaining chip. And as young people, what we are saying is, this is not something that we are going to lightly negotiate. We've given our demands, and we believe that Baba will listen to them. And as the convener has rightly put it, no one else in the community has pushed our agenda other than Baba. In fact, and I would like to challenge you, the media, to do research. We have no single, the last person who mentored young people in this country are the late Masinde Muliro and Kijano Amalwa. Any other leader after them, no one. None of them have picked young people to mentor them. Raila has picked Sifuna, Raila has picked Matere to mentor them. Show me anyone else who's been mentored by our people. Show me who Wetangula has mentored. Show me who Eugene has mentored. No one. So that is why I'm saying Baba presents the best opportunity for us young people to be able to grasp our economy better, to be able to create the jobs we need, and to be able to move forward. Thank you very much.
New aspirant in Westlands, we should know that each and every time, each generation has done what is supposed to be done. Once more, it is our calling, and it's our generation to answer that call. Right Honorable Raila Odinga had declared to support youth, and with that, we have decided to support him, and because he has decided to give several positions to us, the youth. Kimaliza kwa Kipukusu, while the other man,
now, I think I said it from the outset that it's time that the young generation of the Mulembe youth movement has risen, and it's willing and able to give direction to the community in as far as issues pertaining the running and the affairs of the community are concerned. Secondly, in as far as Bukhungu's second declaration is concerned, I'd alluded to a party, that when you go to a party, you have the big boys partying. You have, serious people sitting in a tent, or they are inside a structure, and they are having a party, and that's where serious conversations and serious decisions are made. But on the flip side, you also have a bouncing castle where children will be playing, they will be jumping up and down and everything. And therefore, the main party is going to be in Bukhungu Stadium tomorrow. But also, there will be several bouncing castles. One of that bouncing castle will be in Mumias complex. Another one might be in Trans Nzoia. Another one might be in Busia. But at the end of it all is the declaration that will come from the main party that will be in Bukhungu, that the nation will be looking at and the nation will be concentrating at. No one will care what the declarations of the bouncing castles are. The focus is on the main party. And secondly, our enemy remains one. That the wise man say that you first chase the fox before rebuking and punishing the chicken for wandering in the bush. Our main focus remains ensuring that we have exhaustively done away with UDA party in Western Kenya. After that is done, we can now start talking to Musalia Mudavadi, we can now start talking to Moses Wetangula, and we can start also talking to the scions that the UDA has produced in Western Kenya. But our main focus remains ensuring that Baba is the president of this country and obliterating any remains of UDA party in Western Kenya. Thank you.